I'm Gemma Lonsdale, life coach and psychic medium, and I am so pleased to have you here today. I really wanted to talk to you today about helping you find your voice and helping you stand in your power and really discover who you truly are outside of all of those social conditions that we speak about. Now, one of the challenges that I had in my career, I had a very successful corporate career before I actually moved into the spiritual space and discovered my spiritual gifts. In my corporate career, I spent a lot of years that I was very happy, and I spent a lot of years where I really wasn't very happy. And I know that there will be so many of you out there who are feeling the same thing and who feel really out of sync with the career path that they're on, aren't enjoying their jobs, aren't feeling the level of satisfaction that they should do within your career. And yes, you should absolutely feel satisfied in your career. And actually, that is exactly how I was feeling. Now, there's many different reasons why we end up in a career that we're not really enjoying, or we end up in a job that we're not really enjoying. Often it is to do with finances. We have expectations placed upon us because we have, a mortgage or rent to pay. We've got our car lease. We might have kids, family, daycare, all of these different expenses. Whenever we start to also tie into what society expects with us, and whenever I say society, I'm really meaning the societal expectations that we go out and we work and we do a certain job, and it doesn't really matter if we enjoy it because we all have to work. The societal expectations that we work a 40-hour week, the expectations as well from parents, from, your family, from your spouse, from your friends, that actually this is what you do. You go out and you work. We become so ingrained in this thought process that there are no other options there for us and that we just need to keep on going. Whenever we take a pause and we really start to think to ourselves, actually, is this fulfilling me? Is this really lighting me up? And I want you to really start to ask yourself that about your career at the minute. Is this what you really want to be doing? Does this give you a sense of purpose? Or is it just a job that's paying you the money? Is it that things are just okay? Like things are fine. Like it's fine. My job's fine. Is it that you're really struggling to get up every day and you're hating it? Or is it something that you're doing that is just giving you that, whoa, I can't wait to get into work every day because I know that I'm making a difference and everything is just in alignment for me? There will be some of you that do love your job out there, and that is amazing, and I'm so happy for you. It's such a nice place to be. But there's so many more of us out there that are just ticking over. We're just going with the flow. We're going through the motions. And then there's a portion that are actually sick of it, hating their lives, but are just going and doing it every day because it's just what they do. And they need the money, they need the job. And it might be that you don't know what you're passionate about. It might be that you don't really know what your purpose is or what is going to fulfill you. It could be that you would love to be off doing something else, but actually realistically, you just can't make the switch because of whatever reasons. And honestly, I want to tell you that you can do anything. You can do absolutely anything that you want to do. You don't need to be worried about the financial aspect of it. You don't need to be worried about, well, what will they say? You don't need to be worried about other people's expectations of you. When you worry about those things, what you're doing is you're shrinking yourself in order to fit in your environment. I was talking with someone recently, and I use the analogy of a plant that's in this plant pot that's really small, and it's grown as much as it can. The roots are all sort of tangled up and mangled, and it doesn't really have the room to breathe, and it starts to wither a little bit. The plant starts to look a little bit sad because it's just not growing enough. Whenever we repot that into a bigger pot, it starts to really flourish again. It's got room to breathe. The roots come out and it really starts to flourish. And this is exactly what would happen if you allowed yourself the ability to just open up your thoughts just that little bit more and stop to worry about the restrictions of, well, why it can't happen or why you can't make that move, or, it's not logical, or, I'd have to take a hit in the salary. How can I afford my car? Don't be worried too much about that stuff. The universe has a way of making things possible for us, whether it's a windfall, whether it's an illness, whether it's mine, for example, my journey to what I'm doing now, and I had the same beliefs as what you're having. I had the same belief of, well, I can't make that jump. It's just not logical. How can I maintain my lifestyle? I was a single parent. I had my car payment. I had obviously my rent to pay for myself. How can I do that while I'm embarking on a new career? And it just wasn't logical to me, but yet I knew that I was miserable doing what I was doing. But I had so many blockages and restrictions amongst all of the other things as well, of thinking, well, what will people think, and how will people in the industry view me? She's going do lally. Whenever we stop to worry about all of that and we just have that thought in our head of what we would love to do, or we uncover that part of us of what we would love to do, the universe moves mountains in order to make that happen for us. Now, in my case, the universe ended up with moving me into the medical ward to have my cancer sorted out. But I often have talked about cancer being my biggest blessing. And I'm not wishing that on any of you, but sometimes the challenges that we experience in life are actually the biggest blessings that open up the door for us to pursue a different path. They create the opportunity for us to segue into something else. It's like that job that you got fired from and you're crying into your cornflakes because you hated it so much, but you needed the money. This is the opportunity that the universe has created for you to pursue something different. And that may not mean that you get into direct alignment straight away. Often the transformation that we go through and the changes that we go through on our path are more of a gradual adjustment. So instead of us moving from here to here, it's a bit of a gradual transition where we want to be over here, but actually we'll go here first, and then we'll go here, and then we'll go here, and then we'll go here, and then we'll go here. And all of a sudden you start to get closer and closer to the path that you're supposed to be on. The universe doesn't love a martyr. If you're feeling like you need to just keep plugging on, that is not going to serve you well. You can do it, and you can maybe do it for quite a while. You could maybe do it for a number of years. But if you have something that you're being pulled towards, you can only continue to do that for so long before it's going to really have a detrimental impact on your health. And I mean your physical health, your mental health. If any of you are fans of energy and how that works, whenever we have dissatisfaction and things are out of alignment within us, it creates illness, manifests in our body. So you're going to make yourself physically ill. It's going to impact on your mental health. It's going to impact on your happiness. It's going to impact on the relationships with those that you have around you. And actually, it could even hinder you from having the love relationship that you want to have in your life. And that could be, if you're with somebody, it could be impacting the relationship there. But if you're not with somebody and you're looking to find somebody, it could be that actually the universe wants you to step into your power and realize your full potential and flourish before they bring that person onto your path. Because actually, if they bring somebody on now, you're just going to get bored and move on eventually, because they can see that the transformation is just there and the power that you're going to step into in the future that you're just not quite prepared to do yet. The way that my life has transformed has been unbelievable, and I wouldn't change my path in the slightest. I wouldn't change every tear that was cried. I wouldn't change any broke moment I had, and I tell you that there was a lot of broke moments. I had literally, I really thought at one stage that I might lose my home. I was that broke whenever I was going through all of this. I really worried that I was making the wrong decision on a number of occasions. I can remember crying and crying because I had no money, I had no job, I had cancer. What was I doing with my life? I was just going through a separation as well. And I wouldn't change any of that. It is often the dark parts and the challenges that we have in our life that really open up the door for us to see life in a different way. And that could be that you're changing your perspective. It could be a gradual change of perspective, but it could be that actually it gives you the glimmer of hope that something else is possible. Whenever we're in alignment with our path, And that could mean that there is some transformation that's required from you as well, and some healing, some confidence that needs to come in. But whenever we're in alignment with our path, the world is just absolutely magic. You will feel amazing. You will feel positive about what you're doing. You will feel like you're serving a purpose in the world. Getting up in the morning is no longer hard. You don't have to work as hard for the money that you get. And in fact, you might have to work much less in order to get a larger amount of money. So you might be much better off financially. When the universe sees that you're in alignment with your path and that you're out there serving your purpose, it will bring big rewards to you. Big rewards. And that could be that you're working the 4-day week. You could be working a 4-hour week and receiving much more money than what you were earning before. And that might not happen straight away. I'm not saying that you quit your job today and that starts from tomorrow. But if you work hard for it and you work towards it, the universe will reward that effort. So take the opportunity to decide and open your thoughts up to the fact that maybe this job isn't setting you alight, and maybe that there is another opportunity there for you. And I'm not suggesting that you make the change today. All I'm encouraging you to do is to entertain the thought that it's there. Just entertain that thought. Sometimes that's all we need. Just let that ruminate. You don't need to worry about how you're going to get there. You don't need to worry about the finances. You don't need to worry about what people think. Just let that thought sit. And just let yourself become warm to the possibility of change. And that's all that it takes. That's the first seed. And I would love to hear where that gets you to. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you get an alert whenever I have created new content. If you want more free content, you can also check out my podcast, The Happy Psychic. I also have my TikTok channel. I will make sure that all of the links are in the comments as well. And also, I do offer coaching. I do speaking. I have my membership program as well for my coaching. It's all on my website. I would love to see you there. Feel free to ask me any questions or comment and tag me below, and I will come back to you as soon as possible. And I hope that this has given you some food for thought, and I hope that it is helping to inspire you to align to your purpose and let that feminine energy rise within you and stop shrinking yourself to fit in the spaces where you are right now.